Hi BookTube. I'm here to talk about my TBR, my to be read pile for the Little House Readathon that's taking place from February 7th through the 10th. I'm just going to start out by saying I'm not exactly sure how much reading I'm going to be able to do during those dates because for the majority of that time I am going to be on a work trip to Washington D.C. and I will have very little personal time, but I'm hoping to read quite a bit on the plane and read after the fact as well if I don't manage to finish all the books. Hi, Fable. Oh, come here. Want to see the peoples? I can get her over here by the tree. Come here. Okay. Oh, see the peoples. Yeah. It's hard to get on the camera because she's so big. Maybe if I scoot her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because she's so big I can't put her on my lap. There you go. Yeah, she's going to start gnawing and chewing and making all the noises, but there it is. Okay, let's talk about the books. So I'm going to be reading Cynthia Ryland, Old Town in the Green Groves. This is the pick for the readathon. It's not mandatory, you don't have to read it, but this is what we selected as the group read, if you will. And there's going to be a live show on Saturday. I think it's 3 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time, and 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over at Elizabeth at Lizzie Faye Loves Books channel, and I'll leave a link in the description below to her as well as the other hosts for this event. But this is a group read, and I actually read this for the first time last year, and this is all about Laura's time in Iowa, a time that she decided not to write about in her series, but it was really interesting to see a glimpse into that world that she didn't want to mention, and it's pretty short, and Cynthia Ryland has written many children's books, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't want to give too much away if you wanted to read it, but I'll talk more about it once I have reread it. And then I'm going to be reading, I feel like, read some of Laura Ingalls Wilder's own works, and so I'm going to be reading, for the gazillionth time it feels like, Little House in the Big Woods and Little House on the Prairie. I'm going to be reading this one because along with trivia questions on the live show for this book, there's going to be, or potentially going to be, a second part with trivia questions for Little House on the Prairie. So I want to freshen up for that one because the trivia questions are quite difficult, and if you haven't read the book recently, they aren't things you can like really name off the top of your head from like reading it from like 6 months ago. So I wanted to brush up on that one. And then I'm reading Little House in the Big Woods because every month this year, me and my boyfriend are trying to read one book a month to get him back into the love of reading. It's not that he's ever fallen out of love with it, but he has been so busy with work and going back to school that he's just trying to make it a priority. So in the month of January, reread Killer Angels by Michael Shar, which is a historical fiction book on the Gettysburg, the war in the Civil War battle. And so this month, I was like, why not, kind of follow along. I feel like I'm going to try and implement more BookTube events each month, but we're going to be reading Little House in the Big Woods and talking about that one. And again, I'll talk about this book when I read that one. Read this one for the readathon. And then I am going to be reading this after I get back from DC. I just got this in the mail. I am doing a book buying van every other month. So I just got this. I ordered it online, which I never order books online, but I ordered it on January 31st and it came the very next day. So that, yeah, fits in with my buying criteria. But this is Laura Ingalls Wilder, Pioneer Girl, The Path into Fiction, and is edited by Nancy Tysted-Kupel. I love the cover. It's just so charming. And this is all about taking the manuscript, Pioneer Girl, and I should have brought down my collection. It's at the very top of my bookcase. I am going to try and do a bookshelf tour of my Laura Ingalls Wilder collection, but there is a whole series called Pioneer Girl. This one is taking the manuscript Pioneer Girl that was for an adult audience, and it talks about shifting it to what is going to be Little House in the Big Woods. So I really want to read more reason to read this one, and then get to The Path into Fiction, and it features Rose Wilder Lane prominently. I feel like I haven't dived in at all I want to be surprised. But the very first picture is of Laura and her daughter. Because Rose Wilder, Rose Wilder Lane, she was a prominent author of her time before Laura Ingalls Wilder ever, got into the world of being an author, and for sure helped her, guide her into writing, but totally different styles of writing. And I feel like Rose Wilder Lane's books aren't anywhere near as cozy as Rose is able to take Laura's more, not stark, but like very straightforward writing, and it gives, like, breathes life into it, which is so interesting because Rose Wilder's books are almost, I would want to say, like, not cardboard cutouts, but like caricatures, I feel like, of the little bit I've read here and there. I've never finished one of her books completely, although I have 2 of her books on my shelf that I would like to get to. But it's, this book, in addition to going over the manuscript, is annotated on the sides here, like the other books in the Pioneer Girl series, and also full of pictures. And this one is, let's see, Eva Hewlett from Wilder's Photograph Album. I'm not even sure who Eva Hilbert is, but it'll give me all the details as I read it. But I am so happy to have this. Is the surviving remnant of Wilder's commentary to Lane, and so they were writing back and forth because they didn't, they weren't always like living in the same house, as they were editing, and so just back before email and everything. So there's actually, handwritten document of their conversation. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. I wish I had more time to read this one during the week. I don't think it's going to be possible, and for sure I'm not going to be bringing it on the airplane with me or to the hotel because I do not want to get it damaged. And so I'm going to be reading these 2 actually on ebook on my trip, and maybe just on the airplane there and back, because it's a very long airplane ride from Portland, Oregon all the way to DC and then back. But this one I'm going to read on Saturday before the live show. So yes, I will leave a link in the description below to the co-host for the event, and I'm just so thrilled to be co-hosting this event for the 2nd or 3rd year, I believe. But yes, happy to be participating, and yeah, let me know if you're going to be reading anything for the Little House Readathon, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.